Narrated Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him. Once Allah's messenger, peace be upon him, came out while Bilal, may Allah be pleased with him, was accompanying him. He went toward the women thinking that they had not heard him, i.e. his religious talk. So he preached them and ordered them to give alms. Hearing that, the women started giving alms. Some donated their earrings, some gave their rings, and Bilal, may Allah be pleased with him, was collecting them in the corner of his garment. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So what I like about this one is it helps women to remind themselves about giving alms, but also that your jewelry can be given away. And I think that's a beautiful thing because I'm sure back then there was more things made with pure gold than today. Today there's a lot of shenanigans when it comes to jewelry, especially since cubic zirconia, I believe it's called, has been invented. I'm not sure the whole history of that, but I mean, I don't mind a piece of colored glass or something as jewelry. Costume jewelry, we called it. There's a store in America called Claire's, and it sold what we call costume jewelry, and it looks real, but it's not. And I think that's fine. I enjoy more jewelry like beads made from bone and like feathers and bear claws and fun stuff like that. Alligator tooth, something primal, something that you'd see in Far Cry Primal. Then a sort of British style necklace or something of the royal class. It's too decadent for my taste, but there's a aesthetic quality to it. But some women, parting with such jewelry is difficult. I remember my mom, she sent me, before we really had a relationship, when she was still using drugs, some jewelry. I didn't even know if it was real. Probably wasn't. Who knows? But when my hamster died, one of my very first pets, I had a box, like a jewelry box. I put him inside of it, and I put all the jewelry there, and I buried it in my grandparents' backyard. It's like, he was like a little pharaoh. I think it'd be kind of funny if that jewelry was end up being real. That someone will be digging in the future and see a little tiny hamster skeleton with all his jewelry, and I put a letter in there as well. But I gave up the things my mom gave to me, which you would kind of think should be precious, just as like a little tribute to be like, oh, my first pet died. He was a cute little dwarf hamster. But clearly, giving alms to the needy is going to be really important for us as Muslims. And I want you to think about something here. The Megatardian Christian cult was railing about people needing food assistance. 40 million Americans on EBT and SNAP. They were just fuming, foaming, barking, noshing, nagging, everything about the fact that a government would use its tax dollars to feed its own people. Instead of using it for war, they actually use it to get rice, beans, and some little chips and a little tin can of soda once in a while. Oh, rage. But here, if you notice, women are encouraged to give up more than just a little bit of tax money per year. It's jewelry. Imagine if you had to go to one of those Magatardians and be like, you donate your Xbox. They'd be like, no. But some of these earrings would actually be, if you think about it, worth more than someone's Xbox. Parting with something you love in order to help the needy and give alms is important. Now, some have argued that how much each person gives in taxes and how much of that tax pool gets given to EBT per person, depending on how much they made that year. Some people don't give as much as they think they do. But they like to say, my tax dollars, as if they're giving thousands upon thousands upon thousands that go directly to food stamps. And that's just not the case when you look at the paper trail. Some have estimated that, it's 37 per person. A lot more goes to war and weapons than food. But notice how people don't even want to part with the fiat currency that they have, let alone asking someone to give a ring that's actually real silver or real gold or rose gold, you name it. And that would be harder for them. So this example showing women giving up jewelry to help the needy, how many Christian women would do that today? If you're like, hey, can you give up your gold chain for the poor? They'd be like, can't I just give $20? Can I just buy them a McDonald's meal? Think about it. So, very telling. We have to be willing to part with that type of commodity that we've gotten used to. And it's important for us to not become misers. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Join the blog.